10 rules I followed to make $100,000 at 17 years old before I graduated high school. That is right, guys. I'm gonna teach you exactly the 10 rules that I followed, the rules I pretty much still follow to this day that helped me make 6 figures before I graduated high school by wholesaling real estate. Now, wholesaling real estate is not for the faint of heart, and especially as a teenager, this business can get harder, more daunting, and just harder in general to get your foot in the door, and especially making 6 figures in this business your first year. So what I want to do today is really break down these 10 rules I've been following that really help me out, especially as a teenager starting out. And I feel like these rules are going to help you out so much getting your start in wholesaling real estate for absolute success. So let's start out with number 1. Marketing is king. I think this kind of speaks for itself here, but without marketing, we can't find wholesaling real estate deals. Without marketing, there's no leads coming in. And when leads aren't coming in, there's gonna be no appointments. And when there's no appointments, there's no offers to be made, which means we're not making money. So it's really important here, but if we can't get leads coming in, we won't get any deals. Marketing is the heartbeat of this organization, the heartbeat of wholesaling real estate, and without finding great deals, you're not gonna get any of them locked up. You're not gonna get any buyers to buy them, and you're gonna make no money. So you have to go out here and find really great real estate wholesaling deals. And this is why marketing is king. This also means we gotta prioritize marketing, right? Marketing comes before so many other things in wholesaling. Cold calling goes before finding buyers. Cold calling goes before comping properties. The marketing is important. We gotta create schedules, and we gotta get it done as soon as possible. Number 2, kind of on top of marketing, but you gotta make a plan for your marketing. This is an absolute rule that I've always followed, and I follow to this day. But either you make a plan, or not having a plan is a plan to fail. So if you want a plan to fail, don't make a plan. But we want to have success, so we actually have to make a plan here, right? So make a plan for your marketing. This is really important here. Figure out exactly what your goal is and what you need to do to get to that goal. For most people, if you want to make, let's say, a $15,000 wholesaling deal, we got to do some marketing to get to that point. So let's say we're driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars here. To get to that end goal, I most likely have to put sticky notes and cold call in contact, or maybe even text, probably 500, 600, maybe even 700 sellers to get to this point. So let's create a plan for the next 30 days to get 700 sticky notes sent out and cold calls made for driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars leads. 700 divided by 30 is like 23.4, 23.3. So let's say 24 leads a day for the next 30 days. That's a plan. Simple as that, right? Rule number 3, nobody cares. That is right. Nobody cares about your age. Nobody cares about your experience. Nobody cares what you look like, what you sound like. Nobody cares if you live here or you're out of state or you're doing this virtually or not virtually. No seller really cares how much money you spent in this business to get started either. Most motivated sellers only care about one thing. If you can get their house sold by you buying it for cash or you and your partner buying it for cash. That is it. I see so many beginner wholesalers lose confidence because they truly believe, oh, I didn't spend as much as Zach, so I'm gonna suck and not get any wholesaling deals. And that's honestly the farthest from the truth. For you to actually become successful, to go from here all the way up to here, all you have to do is just do the work and the results will follow. Number 4, this is probably one of the most important ones, but never give up. Stay consistent. Keep going with the grind. I know this isn't talked about enough for me. Just kidding, I talk about this all the time, but you just gotta show up every single day. That is the hardest part. What is the hardest part about losing weight? Is it going to the gym? No. Any Joe Schmo can go to the gym for a day or every single day for a month straight. It's going every single day for a year straight, which is the big problem, right? It's consistency. People go to the gym sometimes for a month straight, not go for 3 months, and then go for a month straight again, and then not go for another 3 months. It's a lack of consistency. And this is a really important habit that we gotta learn. It's better heck to go to the gym once a week for an entire year doing this yo-yo working out thing. Because if you create a habit, you can add on top of that habit and then make it better. The thing is, habits take some time to form. And the truth is, if you want to create a habit that actually will become successful for you through marketing consistently every single day and going after it and getting wholesaling deals, you gotta show up every single day and do the work, even if you don't feel like it. Just do it, I promise you. Even if it feels like you're not moving forward, you are getting closer to your end destination, which is the most important part here. Number 5 here, practice, practice, practice. This is one I cannot say enough about, but you should be doing a little bit of practicing here. Now, the truth is you can either practice your cold calling skills by practicing on your sellers or practicing in front of the mirror or just practicing your lines or your scripts. Remember, at freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course, I do teach you my scripts, my objections, and what to say to sellers and what not to say to sellers and everything, and live calls I've done and all this stuff. And you're gonna know pretty fast that I'm not a perfect person. I do make mistakes, but I try my best to get to that point of perfection. Just get a little better every single day. And the best way for me to get better at this every single day was just by practicing. And heck, some of my practicing with sellers. For example, everyone asks, why are you so good at cold calling, Zach? Well, I kind of forced myself to be. I sat on a desk 5 days a week for 5 hours a day of just cold calling. And yes, I was talking to sellers and marketing and using the scripts and all these different scripts and developing my favorite ones. But really, doing this so much, first and foremost, practice the art of discipline for me, which I was showing up and doing the work every single day here. I was practicing my scripts. And when you do that much cold calling, you pretty much hear every single objection possible when it comes to wholesaling real estate. Who are you? What do you want? Are you in person? Why are you calling from an out-of-state zip code? And all these crazy things. And you learn how to answer these objections just with the amount of practice you do. But honestly, if I had my free real estate wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com, my life would have been a lot easier. And all you gotta do is practice. Like, go in the mirror, go in front of yourself, talk to other people, and just have conversations. Just the art of having conversations with people is a skill set with practice that can help you out a lot. One big tip I can tell you that sounds kind of nervous, but just say hello to someone. If you're a naturally shy person, try to have a 1-minute conversation with an old man or an old lady. Those people love talking and yapping about their day. Say, how's your day going so far? Wow, it's lovely weather. Are you from the area? I know it sounds stupid, but people my age, you know, Gen Zs, people that are 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, they are so addicted to their phones that they don't have real conversations with strangers anymore. People they know and then they talk from there. So just having that art of practicing having conversations with strangers is a skill that will translate into cold calling and wholesaling real estate. Also, practicing offers and how to give the offer to the seller is a really important one. So I definitely recommend you do it in the mirror. Just a conversation to yourself. Just saying the words creates kind of a muscle memory. Kind of like if you play a lot of basketball, if you just get the ball, sometimes you just shoot the ball and you don't even think about shooting it, right? Just the form happens and you just do it because you have such big muscle memory of getting the ball and just posting for the shot that you don't even think about it, right? Like when I'm playing basketball and I do a layup, I don't even think about a layup half the time. It just naturally happens because I practiced it so much. Now, I'm not even really that good at basketball, but I can only imagine if I practiced more, how much practice would have helped my instincts. Number 6 here, super important, but silence your distractions. Guys, you have a goal. You have an obtainable thing that we are reaching out. We are trying to make $100,000 our first year here. Now, making $100,000 at 17, 18 years old is an extraordinary feat. Now think of the word extraordinary, extraordinary. This is an uncommon thing. So we want to be uncommon amongst common men. We want extraordinary results. So we have to go and do things that are extraordinary outside of the norm of what people normally will do. So what does an 18-year-old like normally doing? They love hanging out with their friends all day. They love texting everyone all day. They love scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and watching shows and playing video games and all these things. And really to be outside of that realm, because the average 18, 19-year-old is making, maybe $5,000, $10,000 a year in the United States, right? Working a part-time gig. You're gonna have to do what they're not doing and you'll make more money than them. And so one thing I did really early on was silence my distractions. So what was that? I deleted my Instagram. This is documented when I was 17, 18 years old. I stopped watching most YouTube. I completely stopped watching TV. I kind of ignored the news for a little bit if it was outside of real estate and the Fed interest rates, and I just worked. And I kid you not, I woke up in the morning and really the only news I got was when my family said something or I heard it on the radio. I silenced all of my distractions and I fed my goals, my ambitions, and the work I had to do. Most people, if you even watch this, you probably spend 45 minutes scrolling on Reels on Instagram and TikTok a day, and heck, probably an hour of wasted time that you could have spent doing wholesaling. You could have cold called, sent text out, reverse drove for dollars or drove for dollars, right? You don't need to be constantly updated about the world and what's going on. Heck, and you say, oh, that's crazy, you have to know about the news. Well, if you really want to get crazy, there's like podcasts out here from like NPR that do like 5-minute news briefings every single morning where it tells you all the news you need to know about the world in 5 minutes, and that's it. You don't really need to be watching hour-long panels on what they think the latest politician's been doing. 5-10 minutes, seeing what big news is happening for the day, and then boom. Silence your distractions. Work on the things that improve you in your life. The only thing I didn't really silence and I never really had, because this is something really important for longevity, is at least working out an hour a day. That is always something I've been really keen on. And no, I'm not the most jacked guy in the world, but it's still something that's made sure I wasn't really big fat or lazy, or just it hurt my health at all, because when my health's bad, I work less and I don't feel as good. So that's definitely an important thing. But just working out 1 hour a day, even if you don't feel like it, that was one sacrifice I did make that I do think really improved me a lot. So don't be like, oh, I'm gonna let my health go and only eat fast food so I can work more. Still be relatively healthy, but just starve most of the distractions that don't help you every single day. And yes, this is only temporary, okay? Like when I started making millions of dollars, I started watching a little more TV, I hung out with my friends a lot more. I started enjoying some of the finer things in life. But really, I had to become a multi-millionaire before I hit that point. Number 7 here. Confidence is a belief. This is really important, guys. A lot of people ask me, what's the secret to confidence? What's the secret to getting experience? What's the secret to all these things so I feel confident when talking to a seller? And the honest truth is, confidence is just a belief. It's not something you're gonna get instantly. Confidence is just believing in what you say, believing in what you're doing, and believing in your actions. And once you realize the secret to confidence is within you, start believing what you say. Start believing in what you're doing. When you talk to a seller, believe that you can help them out with you and your partner, the cash buyer. You'll sound more confident because you just believe in yourself. I always thought confidence came from just experience, but experience just comes from, hey, I've done this so many times, I believe myself because I've done it so much. So really you can kind of skip that process by just believing in yourself, and you'll have all the confidence in the world. Number 8 here, and this is super important, but remember where you came from and why you're on this path. One extra rule I've had here is just think about your alternative paths when you're not feeling like you want to keep going on the journey. This is my bag boy name tag right here, and whenever I felt like a sorry little sucker, I used to look at this name tag, you know, I'm hour 3 into cold calling and be like, man, I'm tired of cold calling. Maybe I shouldn't do this. You know, I already did a deal this month. I looked at this name tag and I said, Zach, do you want to go back to being a bag boy making $7 an hour? You would have to rip me off the phones over my cold, dead body before I'd put this name tag back on and work my grocery store job ever again as a bag boy. And so knowing where I came from and where I never want to be has been one of the biggest motivators for me to just keep going. Number 9 here, and this is really important, but find time. And so my rule here is always find the time. A lot of people get busy, life happens, I get it, but you have to prioritize your goals. Prioritize wholesaling. It's gonna be kind of similar to silencing distractions, but a lot of people say, I don't have time, or it's really hard for me to schedule things. That's just because you have a lack of prioritization. And I get some people have some issues mentally when it comes to organizing their day, and some people have ADHD, and I can't say I get it because I don't have it. But a lot of it, even from people with ADHD that actually can kind of make some progress with this, they just learn to prioritize. And this is a big advice I have to give to you, but prioritizing my day, making a to-do list, and knowing what I have to do with a schedule has always helped me with success. Discipline breeds freedom, and for you to become successful, you have to become disciplined. Number 10, last but not least, but make the sacrifice. There are sacrifices that have to be made to becoming rich and successful, especially at 18, 19 years old. I chose to sacrifice a lot of TV shows, a lot of time spending with friends, a lot of dates to get to the point where I could make $100,000 my first year wholesaling real estate before I graduated high school. This doesn't mean I have to do any of these things now because now I'm a multimillionaire, I can do whatever I want. But I chose to sacrifice that. But before you think of it as only a bad thing, there's a lot of good that can come from this. You gotta remember, if you decide you wanna do all these things and party and everything, yeah, you're getting all the benefit and the pleasure now, but what you're sacrificing instead is not the fun times, but you're sacrificing you becoming a multimillionaire and taking care of your family for the rest of your life. Do you wanna sacrifice all the fun? Sacrifice not going to the clubs and making millions of dollars and then going to the clubs for the next 50 years of your life. To me, it's an easy choice. To you, you gotta make the decision. If you're ready to make the decision, become a successful wholesaler, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course, and I'll see you soon. Also, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.